We're 54 days away from the US election, which is likely to have a big impact on the trajectory of the crypto bull run and the crypto future in the US, which is still, by purchasing power and mindshare, the largest market for crypto and most important market for crypto. But Vice President Harris has now overtaken President Trump. Well, a lot of people say Trump has underperformed and Harris massively overperformed to what people have expected going into this debate. So it will be interesting to see a very tight race, and we have a close eye on that. On the other hand, there might also be a scenario where the outcome of the election actually does not matter at all, considering that this forecast here by Julian Bittel from GMI says that we're going to enter a massive liquidity inflow, which would mean that Bitcoin is going to massively outperform, especially towards the end of this year. So ETFs were approved here in mid-January. Then we had this massive ETF pump sideways until now. And the catalyst for this year-end rally might be that the macro environment is shifting. And according to this forecast, it will have a massive liquidity inflow over the next 3 to 4 months. Arthur Hayes, on the other hand, is warning from a potential unwind of the Japanese yen cash carry trade 2.0, saying that it might be Goblin Town all over again. And we saw on August 5th how that immediately affected the crypto markets, Bitcoin, especially altcoins that were bleeding and crashing right away. So we'll see, and also have to keep an eye on that. When it comes to improving the liquidity rails, accessibility for cryptocurrencies, and just making it super easy for users, that crypto will be integrated into the existing financial system. We just saw breaking news, which is that both PayPal and Venmo are integrating ENS domains, which means users can now send crypto payments easily back and forth. The regulatory tone around cryptocurrencies is also shifting in the UK. The UK introduces a bill to clarify cryptocurrency as personal property, which is exactly what it is. So that's also bullish and positive news. Then we also have India leading the race when it comes to global crypto adoption. There's actually a report that was shared by Chainalysis, cryptocurrency adoption around the world, and India ranking first, followed by Nigeria, Indonesia, and then the USA. You can read this full report here, also their methodology and what that exactly means, how they're weighting this. And we can see here, for example, that upper middle income countries and high income countries have been on a downtrend since Q1 of 2024, whereas lower middle income countries and low income countries have been on the rise. And I think this also shows how liquidity is probably being sucked out of the market, the whale liquidity, the big money. But the people that are living in low income countries are oftentimes also plagued by inflation, economic instabilities, geopolitical instabilities, which is what led me to this conclusion already a long time ago. And I keep saying this here on the channel as well, is that eventually people will be forced into crypto. And that's also how we reach mass adoption. Not because crypto is necessarily easier, better, faster, whatever, but more so because it will become a human necessity for people to get into crypto, because the traditional system is going to fail. It will fail. It has always been that case, that fiat currencies, the fiat system, is actually designed to fail because it has a lot of fundamental flaws in its design, but also it is run by a minority of people that hold a lot of control and power, and at some point they will abuse that, right? Look at countries like Argentina, Venezuela, Turkey, Lebanon. You can see over and over the same pattern, and that's why crypto is going to win. But specifically talking about India, we are also on the India train with Cosmoverse. Cosmos India has been announced already a couple of weeks ago. It is a 4-week developer onboarding program to recruit builders for our HackMos hackathon, which is happening late October here in Dubai. Dubai is not really known for being a developer hotspot, but India is. And India is just around the corner from Dubai, literally 2-3 hour flight, and round trips are super affordable for a lot of people, which is also why there's a lot of Indians here in Dubai. And that's why we're going there to onboard, educate, connect, and recruit developers to learn about the interchain stack and then also participate at our HackMos hackathon. If you're in one of these cities, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, or Mumbai, then please go on our Luma, register here, it's totally free, everything is free. And if you are a developer and you are in Dubai or you want to come to Dubai and you're considering, then also make sure to check out our Dora Hacks submission portal for HackMos 2024. We have a total prize pool of actually above $100,000 in commitments from a lot of projects like Babylon, for example, Mantra, the ICF, Osmosis, Warden, Native, Neutron, and the Cosmos Hub as well. They will all have tracks at Cosmos, and I think It's going to be very productive. We already have over 100 registrations for Hackmos. And if you want to register, you can come here on cosmos.org/Hackmos and get your developer pass, which means free access to Hackmos, the chance to win prize money, which the chances are going to be very high. From these 8 track owners that we currently have listed, there will be more that are being announced very soon. We already have at least 32 winning teams, not individuals, but teams, which means a lot more individuals that will actually win real prize money for building applications, for participating in bug bounties, and so on and so forth. So you have the chance to win money. You also have the chance to make money by getting a grant, by maybe getting a job there, right? A lot of these teams are hiring right now. And also everything is totally for free. By getting a developer pass, you'll also get free complimentary access to Cosmoverse itself, which means 3 additional days of F&B, more than you can think about and dream about, on all these conference days, and also a lot of workshops, developer stage, and a lot of access to real mentors, builders, and thought leaders in our industry in the interchain. Speaking of the interchain, we are sideways. Nothing too much is happening, a little bit down. The top winner today is the ASI Alliance Artificial Super Intelligence, formerly known as Fetch AI. And the ASI also just announced a new member. We're going to talk about this in a second. Celestia, ahead of the token unlock, we made a full video about that the other day, up 7.8% today, $4.25. Let me know, by the way, what you think on October 31st, which is when this massive $750 million unlock is occurring. Where's the TIA price going to go? Is it going to immediately crash, which is what a lot of people are scared of? Or is nothing going to happen? Will we be higher, lower, or at the same levels than we are now on October 31st, and maybe a day or two after that when the unlocks occur? Let me know what you think, what your prediction is. Now, the big elephant in the room, the big announcement that we just had was Polaris. Polaris, a new application announced by Osmosis. So the question is, can Polaris make Osmosis great again? Can Polaris make Cosmos DeFi great again? And with it also make Cosmos, the interchain, great again? Because right now, Cosmos as a brand name is not very hyped, right? A lot of people are like, nah, I don't know, Cosmos, it's all about maybe Solana, and major announcements like Polaris, which is going to be the token portal to allow trading all tokens across all chains. So one single interface that lets you connect every wallet, trade every asset, and also transfer back and forth between different chains, different ecosystems even, which means abstracting the entire complexity of IBC, of gas, of wallets, all of that stuff entirely away once and for all. This is the true vision of the interchain DEX led by Osmosis. Without Osmosis, IBC adoption would not be where it is today. IBC was brought to life by Osmosis, the tech stack proven by the Cosmos Hub, and then the kind of usability, usage, and demand for it was then brought into the market by Osmosis. And the big promise by Polaris is to resolve the great chain divide problem, which basically is the effect of having an architecture that is designed around interoperability and sovereignty, because then you're also fragmenting the user experience, you're fragmenting liquidity, you're fragmenting the user base itself, right? And Polaris aims to reunite and become the true interchain DEX. Very interested to see how that will play out. Osmosis back in the conversation at least, and they will have a grand unveil at Solana Breakpoint in 8 days, and then phase 2 and more stuff to come at Cosmoverse end of October. Sunny also shared his views here, excited to finally announce Polaris, game changer that will elevate Osmosis to the next level. And he also shared some comments here basically about the vision to build the interchain DEX, to be able to have a centralized exchange-like experience. All assets, there's volume, there's liquidity. You don't have to go back and forth between wallets, no bridges, all that stuff that is getting a lot of people frustrated from a UX point of view. And he's saying that Osmosis is the foundation as the first DEX to allow permissionless bridging via IBC, and have already been paving the pathway for that by implementing one-click trading and fee abstraction, also integrating smart accounts or innovating smart accounts. We've been covering all of that here on this channel, which reaffirms my belief that Osmo, the Osmo coin, in my book at least, is severely undervalued. I talked about it in the last video how I also believe that DYDX is severely undervalued. DYDX was at around $27, $28 at the peak of the previous bull run. Osmosis was at around $12 in the previous bull run, but Cosmos itself never really had a bull run. So it will be interesting to see if the local bottom for Osmo is in. We've been hovering around 38, 39 cents here in the local lows for the past couple of weeks and months. The bear market low in last year was actually around 20, 25 cents. So we're still around 2x above that. But the question is, was that the low? Have we seen the worst? And are we going to go up only from here? Let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, Osmo also still a 9.8% staking APR. There's also conversations about further lowering the inflation, reallocating more percentages to stakers, which would mean you could achieve lower inflation without lowering the staking APR at the same rate. Because right now the inflation is distributed to developer incentives, to liquidity incentives, to stakers, and I think there's one more category. I think it's the community pool, but there are conversations about potentially adjusting that as well. Anyways, Osmo, one of the biggest sleeping giants in my book at least. And if you want to learn more about Polaris, then tune in for that. Twitter Spaces here by Dev, who is one of the smartest developers in Cosmos in crypto, co-founder of Osmosis. Also, Sunny's going to be there, Nick White from Celestia, and then two very interesting people, Lily Liu from the Solana Foundation. Actually, she's the president of the Solana Foundation, but she's also part of Osmosis. And then we also have Mert from Helios, also big Solana guy, and he will also be at Cosmos, by the way. Then we also have some news from Noble. Noble is now planning to integrate more and more with centralized exchanges to be closer to liquidity and users, and to also have more value propositioning for the interchain, for the Cosmos ecosystem. And Noble is actively seeking to integrate with more and more centralized exchanges. I think they already have an integration with Coinbase. Looking forward to see more integrations with other centralized exchanges as well. Also, would love to see what is the pathway for Noble to source security, because right now Noble is an app chain for native asset issuance, but it's running on its own permissioned validator set. With Cryptocito, we're one of the validators. Noble does not have its own native token, so you can't buy Noble right now. It only has a dummy token that's there to secure the chain. But the question is now, will Noble migrate and become an atom-secured chain once Forge goes live? Or will they do something else by integrating, let's say, Babylon or Eigenlayer, restaked ETH, right? There was also this conversation around Ether stake, but I haven't heard about Ethers in a very long time. So let me know if that project is actually still running. Then also big news for the stake community and Filament, a project that is very close to me as well, because I'm a big fan of Abhitej. He's one of the people, the early people that taught me a lot about Cosmos. He's also from India and has been building the local Cosmos community in India, and it's just one of the best, smartest, most committed builders in all crypto, I would say. I also personally am an angel investor into Filament, for full disclosure here. It's very cool to see that Filament is now live on the Say mainnet in beta. So you can come here, filament.finance, and start trading. It's a perp DEX built for traders. Currently, there's only two pairs that you can trade, Solana perps and Bitcoin perps. This is running on the Say network V2, which integrates parallel EVM execution. So supposed to be super fast, super efficient, and we're going to be seeing how that will play out after the beta phase is over and they will integrate and list more assets here. Anyways, very proud to see this product go live. I know Abhitej has been putting a lot of work, a lot of efforts, endless sleepless nights, and great to see that this is now on mainnet. Like I said earlier, the ASI is expanding. Welcome, kudos to the ASI joining SingularityNet, Ocean Protocol, and the ASI leader Fetch AI. And Kudos is a cloud compute infrastructure provider. They're also native to the Cosmos ecosystem, so I guess the migration is going to be super smooth from one Cosmos chain to another Cosmos chain, and the ASI is further growing. Then some Cosmos Hub news, big news actually. Hydro has passed. The Hydro proposal has passed, which means Hydro is coming to the Cosmos Hub very, very soon. The future is liquid. Also love this new bull posting here, an announcement posting from the Cosmos Hub Twitter account. Love to see this. Still needs to get more visibility here, but I think that's well on track. And the proposal that passed is 955, which also means to reroute previous deployments to Hydro. Remember how there were a lot of proposals for Agoric, Quasar, P-Stake, Stride as well, that were requesting atoms from the Cosmos Hub community pool to be used for their products without actually paying for that service, right? Now, this liquidity that's already being lent out will be rerouted to basically be clawed into the Hydro bucket, and then these projects will join on the same level as many others, like Shade Protocol is also joining the bidding process, I think Nulus as well, a lot of the DeFi projects obviously, to basically compete for this liquidity and then also pay for this liquidity. So that's a new product for the Cosmos Hub, and Hydra is now weeks away from being launched. And in addition, one of the big changes they also made in this proposal was to basically not favor Stride. That has been a big concern by the Cosmos Hub community. So 955 reroutes and claws back existing POL, and also does put Stride on the same level like all the other liquid staking providers, like Drop that just launched, PSTake as well, even though PSTake is now focused more on the Bitcoin ecosystem, and so on and so forth. Anyways, this is interesting. On the other hand, a lot of people also forget that we have Asteroid Protocol on the Cosmos Hub, which is an inscriptions protocol, and inscriptions are currently extremely cold as a narrative, but I think inscriptions have a strong product market fit, will certainly have a future. And now Asteroid launched a new launchpad where you can mint art collections and participate in creating or establishing the culture on the Cosmos Hub. This is how it looks like. There's currently 6 mints that are currently live. You can also create your own mint and just play around with Asteroids itself, right? I think inscriptions, like I said, definitely have a future, and the UX UI for Asteroids, since it launched a couple of months ago, has massively ramped up. You have also a bridge now that's live to Neutron or Astroport. You can create your own CFT20 tokens. You can trade ROIDs, which is basically the native token to Asteroids. Sticking around interchain DeFi, we have Nulus protocol announcing that you can leverage short ST Atom on Nulus. So for those of you that are ultra bearish on Atom, now you can actually short Atom on Nulus in true Cosmos DeFi fashion with up to 150% leverage. So if you're bearish on Atom, you can now put your money where your mouth is and you can short the Cosmos Hub and Atom. Finally, some NFT news on the Cito Zone. We're posting a lot of NFT content as well around Stargaze, obviously the primary NFT marketplace, but also Format Chain, Passage as well, Omniflix as well. There are a lot of NFT players in the Cosmos ecosystem. And one of the OG collections after the filter has now launched Chapter 4. So check that out on Stargaze. We also have an interesting sale right now going on, an auction of one of the 30 BadKit burgers that is now listed on Stargaze, and the bidding process is still going on for 2 days. Current bid is 25,000 stars. So if you want to participate there and get one of the rarest BadKits, you can participate here on stargaze.zone. Rarity rank 272 out of 9,996. And now go over on the Cito_zone Twitter account for our weekly Cito NFT recap week 19, where we're covering a lot of the NFT developments around some of the rarest NFTs on Stargaze, but also on other networks, other ecosystems. And this is a very, very deep dive about the NFT ecosystem in Cosmos, because once the NFT hype is coming back, which inevitably is going to be the case this bull cycle, then you are best prepared and you don't have to do quick research, because you already have done the research in a bear market, right? You're front running the opportunity by doing all the hard work in a bear market when no one is willing to do it and everyone is distracted by noise and drama and pointless discussions, pointless debates, finger pointing, who is right, who is wrong. You're in your lane, locked in and doing your research and preparing for the next upcoming bull run, because you're a winner. That's who you are. I'll leave you with that and see you very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.